Good morning, this is Vicki.
And this is Jo.
And we're the Two Natural Ladies.
And we talk about the good news we all need and ways of getting the most out of life.
We help people with practical, uplifting ways we can all make a difference.
And we're striving for better, not perfect.
And we love a good laugh. Please enjoy the show. Well, you know, I love to express myself with whatever I'm doing. Wherever I am, and I'm just feeling very French right now.
Yes, it sounds like it. Maybe because this time last year, as we speak, we were in France.
Paris.
Yes.
Starting with a train trip underwater.
Yes.
How amazing was that?
It was amazing. Well, actually, let's just leave England because bye. Richard took us to the train station.
Yes.
We were wanting to be independent, so we told him just take us to the local train station, and we dragged our heavy cases here and there and everywhere. And it was interesting, wasn't it? Because when we were at the the LaGuardia.
Yes.
The international train station, and a man came to my rescue and
twice. You had two different times when people came to your rescue,
carried my case for me,
and you had the light case. Don't worry about me, people. I'm fine, thank you.
Yes. So, how to annoy Jo? Have someone help you, and not help her. I should have said, can you go back and help her? I didn't even think of it. I'm sorry.
She's a few years older and she's got a heavy case.
Yeah.
They must have just thought I was so independent.
That's right. It was me who was looking.
That's right, like a damsel in distress.
Yes. So anyway, we got to the station and did our thing and went underwater in the train.
That trip, I think we got very good tickets. I think Damien,
thank you, Damien,
our wonderful travel agent, got us very good because that was very plush and food was presented to us and I think by the time we worked out, are we underwater? I'm not sure if we're underwater. We had this discussion about, look, I think we are. Yes. Oh, no, we're not anymore.
It was quick.
Yes, 40 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know, not very long.
No, and it kind of built the whole thing set us up for not such a good train trip from Paris to Nice because we expected the same.
We did, of course.
Yes, but because we had a table and we were seated. We were seated, and it wasn't that long. But anyway, on we go. We've arrived in Paris.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay. And, of course, the wonderful Damien had organised transfers to our hotel.
Yeah.
And we waited. And we waited. And we waited. And we waited. And then
I rang.
You did?
I rang.
Yes.
And they went,
and
yes.
I rang.
Yes. Oh, they'll be there. All right.
Yes. Oh, there's a strike on. And, of course, eventually we found out that it was the worst strike in 12 years, transport strike in 12 years, and nobody could get anywhere. So after, I don't know, an hour and a half, and Vicki did keep saying, why don't we walk? I'm going, I'm not walking. Why don't we walk? No, I'm not walking.
Well, then we looked like hobos because then we sat on the floor of the station because we were exhausted.
Eventually, we walked.
Yes,
to
we
Montmartre.
did. Yes, dragging our suitcases.
But we got to see the local people and the local streets and we did survive. We found our place. Thank God for your wonderful navigating once again. And I think we were a little bit surprised when we arrived how small it was.
Oh, it was tiny.
Yes.
It was up on the 5th floor.
Yes.
And it was tiny.
Yes. But that's how people live. We're used to, and that's the thing, and that's one of the things, talking about my passion of watching location, or these UK shows, and we're constantly marvelling when people go, wow, that's a big bedroom, and I'm thinking, no, it's not, it's tiny. We are so used to vast spaces.
Well, could you imagine being in lockdown in that small place?
And imagine if we'd been there and they went, lockdown. That would have been fun.
Well, that would have been
That
interesting.
would have tested the friendship.
Oh, yeah, because we only had one bedroom, one bathroom.
Yes.
What saved that place? Because
the window.
The window, it had both windows had a lot of charm. They were those French funnily, enough in France. You have French windows.
Yes.
And we did a bit of hand washing and hung things over the little railing, and it was all very charming.
And what was really interesting, because we were dealing with people who spoke a different language and we didn't really speak that language at all, even though I had 3 years of French and I won a French prize.
Yes.
But anyway, that was a few years ago, I guess.
It obviously went to waste.
It did. We wanted at one stage to find a laundromat, and we did get instructions on how to find it, and we walked around and we couldn't find it. Of course, on the last day, I think it was, we found it.
Yeah, we found lots of things.
Yes.
I suppose we were going out and turning right, and then all of a sudden was like, let's turn left. And then that's when we found the clothing shop right next door.
Yes.
And then we found the laundromat down the side street. Yes.
It was very close to where we lived. So anyway, as you said, we did our washing in the little basin, what we really, really needed. And even finding places to eat. I remember the first night we ended up in some Chinese restaurant or something.
Yes.
Something we didn't really enjoy, but it was quite late by the time we dragged our suit, because I think we arrived at 5 or something.
Yeah, by the time we got out it was dark. Yes.
So we just wanted to get something to eat. And then, of course, we went on that wonderful tour of parts of Paris with, what was her name? It was a walking tour.
Yes.
No, it wasn't Stephanie. I can't remember her name.
Remember her name.
No. She was so sweet.
Yes.
And then we discovered an art gallery. Now, can you remember the name of the art gallery?
L'Orangerie?
Ah, that's right, yes. And only part of it was being shown, but the part that I particularly wanted to see was Monet. So we got to see all these amazing Monet prints, including that huge, what would you call that?
Mural, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pauline.
Oh, don't we love Pauline? Thank you. Yes, a huge mural. That was amazing.
It went around 2 rooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, here's a really interesting thing, how we are in our lives. Now, Monet was quite old when he did that, and I think it was the last thing he did, and he had a very special friend, and I can't remember his name, but Pauline might remember his name, who asked Monet to do that. And Monet didn't ever feel it was good enough.
Yeah, he felt a failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that to me is just, how can you, when you've done this amazing thing, paintings and how can you feel like a failure? And yet he did. And we just see how as human beings, how we beat ourselves up and make ourselves wrong for not being perfect.
And take ourselves for granted.
Yes.
Like our special, unique skills.
Yes.
And yes, we do.
And it wouldn't matter how often we would, if we knew Monet, we'd say, Monet, you're really good. This is great. We're loving it. It's giving lots of people joy. You go, yeah, but that bit's just not quite right.
Just you wait. You'll find something you don't like.
Yes. I was very saddened by that, but it did show a humanness about how we all are.
Yes, yes.
And then we met Kate, who is your...
So Nikki and Richard, who we stayed with.
Yes, in England.
So Nikki is my stepmum's sister.
Yes.
And they were family.
Neighbours,
they were neighbours, family, friends and neighbours. So we were introduced to Kate by Nikki and Richard, and they thought we'd get along. And we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, we went to a great vegan restaurant.
Yes.
Oh, that food was yummy.
Yeah.
And... we just talked and walked around and and Kate's now got a little baby.
She has.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
She's having a lovely time. We see her on Facebook, etc.
Yes.
And then, of course, there was the day.
The day.
The 24,000 step day.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. We walked all over the place.
We did.
And we had a lovely day. It was a lovely day.
And a very romantic dinner.
We did. We had a romantic dinner.
In front of the Arc de Triomphe.
Yes. And we drank champagne, and then I spilt my second, broke the glass and spilt my... As, mind you, I was handing the people next door the smelly cheese because neither of us liked it.
Yes.
Which hadn't been touched. We were very close to the Canadian couple next to us.
Yes.
And I said to them... do you like smelly cheese?
It was a blue cheese.
Yeah. And they said, oh, yes, we love it. And so as I'm handing it, I somehow knocked my $16 glass of champagne. And I was really enjoying it. And I don't really drink. Anyway, there you go.
There you go.
And then we went up the Arc de Triomphe.
We did. We got some lovely. It was getting dark,
Yes.
and we could see the Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
Blood brain fade from there, and it was all lit up because it was night. And,
Yes.
And then I was looking down, looking at the traffic around Arc de Triomphe, and I'm thinking, what is the traffic doing? What are the rules here? There seem to be none.
No.
It was just get in when you can.
I think that's the rule.
And then we decided to go down, and I was going to navigate us home on the train, but then my GPS stopped working. I think it was because it was so busy. It just wasn't working. So you cracked it and insisted on a cab.
I did. I
and
said,
took our lives
can't
into.
Walk anymore.
That's right, and our lives were in the cab driver's hands, because guess where we were? We were on the Arc de Triomphe, where I was looking in horror from above, going, "Oh gosh, I don't want to be down there."
I know. I was watching you, and there was a car coming towards us on your side.
Yes,
I can remember you did not like that.
but because of all of that, we have a story.
We do.
I don't know how many other people can say. Please let us know.
Yes.
Have you actually been in a car on the Arc de Triomphe?
Yes.
Because it's on a Saturday night. It was a Saturday night, wasn't it?
It was
crazy.
It was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, we get dropped off not at our hotel.
No.
And Joe's had it by now.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, let's just go get another drink.
And I'm sitting there going...
And I'm like, just let me drink and I'll look it up. I'll find it.
But, we made it through. And
she didn't kill me.
I didn't kill her. No, she's still here.
Probably because I was navigating.
I would have found a way. I would have asked someone. Dear. Ooh, that was exciting.
Yes. Well,
all right.
And you're with the two natural ladies.
Yes.
Yes. Now, we were in Paris. Are we ready to leave Paris? Or was there more?
Oh, look, I can't remember which day we did what, but we did walk along the Seine, which was lovely, but there was no music.
Like ABBA singing.
Well, yes, walk along the Seine. Or no, even some...
summer.
No, I was thinking more like some, beautiful... violin.
Oh, yes.
And, people riding bikes and flowers everywhere. I just had this image.
and men greeting us, hello, madame.
Yes,
Oui,
yes.
Not hello,
just
madame. Bonjour, madame.
Handing us flowers or something, beautiful women, whatever.
And us skipping, just dancing with our swooshy dresses and high heels and not in pain.
No. All of that. Yeah, which didn't happen.
Well, and the Notre Dame had burnt.
Yes, that was very sad. So anyway, we did do all those wonderful things. But then we went to Versailles.
I thought you were going to say we went to the pub. We did go to the pub.
Oh,
on the Seine.
Did we?
Yes.
Oh, we did. That's right.
Yes.
I remember.
Thought I'd say that.
Yeah. Well, what would it be travelling with Vicki without a pub?
That's right. And then we went to Versailles.
Yeah. Which the gardens were divine.
Well,
I would love to go back and spend more time in the gardens, but I would never, ever go back to that palace.
You had to get out, didn't you?
There were so many people.
Yeah.
I'm not good with lots of people in a
That was
confined
before
space.
we knew what social distancing meant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And really, one room after the other, to me, very gaudy. And, and I remember my son saying the room of mirrors, because there's that big hallway of mirrors, hall of mirrors or whatever it's called. He said that was amazing. And I even went in there and I think I'd had enough by then. And I literally, and you couldn't get out anyway. You had to go through all the rooms. So,
like IKEA, isn't it?
Yeah. I put Versailles and IKEA right there together. Oh dear, yes. So, but the garden's gorgeous, gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. So it was quite hot. And I lost you, or you lost me, or something happened, and we did the gardens separately.
We did. Now,
Yes.
the good thing about going on a weekend, because we went on a weekend and that's why there were so many people.
Yeah.
The bad thing was there were so many people inside the palace.
Yeah.
The good thing was they had music, and
yes.
so all the fountains would start
Yes.
spraying, and then all this beautiful classical music. I actually filmed some of it, recorded some of it to send back to my parents because it was their music. So yes, that was
lovely.
It was,
And yes, and I could have gone for a swim if I was allowed to.
yes.
Yes.
We could have. We could have. Well, you've been talking about wanting to get arrested, so you could do that. You could have done that.
I thought you were happy to be arrested. Anyway.
Well, it's not that I want to be arrested, but it's like, oh yeah, righto.
Whatever.
If for what I was doing, whatever it is,
Yes.
was going to have me arrested, go for it. Yes. Anyway.
Okay.
What else did we do? Was there anything else in Paris? We bought hats.
We did. Yes.
We went down the Champs-Elysees, and again, it was just. Oh, I did go into the Ferrari.
Yeah.
No, not Ferrari. The F1. Anyway, it was where
Renault.
Where Daniel Ricciardo, who's an Australian's F1 car was.
That was pretty cool, and I sent photos back to my son and made him jealous. Yeah.
Oh yes, and we did actually. We took pictures of cars too. Remember, we took some, particularly when we were in the UK.
Yes, well, we were sending them back to our husband saying, "Look what we bought."
Yes.
So, the Champs-Elysees, again, I mean, we weren't that overly impressed with it because it was very commercial.
Yeah.
We wanted, by that time, we realised, next holiday we'd be doing it differently. We wanted to go to the charming little villages and the...
Yes.
Anyway, but we did the mainstream stuff.
And we've done it.
Yes, and did you notice all the trees were planted, in the parks, were planted in straight lines?
Yes,
That was quite remarkable.
Yes. Yeah.
But yes, then, well, maybe we did get around a lot on the train system in Paris.
And we went up to the church. What was the church called up in the hill? And we went...
Very famous
I know.
one. So we were in Montmartre.
Yes.
What's the famous church?
I don't
in
know.
Montmartre?
Polly. Oh dear! Famous church at the on the hill in Montmartre
that we walked up.
Saint.
Oh gosh!
Oh god! Anyway,
very famous.
Yes.
We'll somebody's going to tell us very soon.
Yes.
And
we went to a church service. There was a service on.
Yes. Yes.
And I kept getting into trouble because I'd moved too close to because there was the area for the tourists, and then the area for the people actually attending. The locals. And I kept sneaking in to be a local, and then was told to go back.
That's right. Naughty.
Yes.
So
it was fun. And there were lots of artists there. Remember, they kept wanting to paint us and draw us, which is obviously what people want to do.
Of course, yes. Well, and the other thing, where did we started? Yeah, we're up the top there. Oh, that's where we had our other lovely dinner, and we bought a bottle of champagne that night.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
See, Vicki got me drinking.
Yes. That was very nice. And we met some lovely Australian women who sat quite close to us and
That's
had
right.
a chat. And
Yes, and we were telling them things to do, places to go. Yes.
So,
and they'd been on a cruise. Had they been on a cruise or a tour? Anyway.
Yes. Oh, yes, a very quick one all the way around Europe. Yes. And then, the next day we went back for breakfast, and I got very annoyed with the French man because he was rude. And it's like, gosh, never heard of that before. But then we went walking, and that's when we went. Oh, that's right. We were going to look this up. We went down. We walked and wandered, and we found our way down into the Can City. When they do all the
yes.
the.
Yes. Oh, isn't that funny?
Where are our words?
I know. A really famous place with...
Yes.
Gosh.
Where that movie with Nicole Kidman came from.
Oh, yes.
We're doing well today.
Yes, we are. Okay, I've got to look. Anyway, we
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Thank you,
Pauline. Oh my gosh. Yes, and it was so expensive.
Yes.
We decided no.
And we got out of there. And we just kept going. I don't remember where we ended up. Maybe.
Well, we actually ended up in a certain district, the red light district,
yes,
as well. So
yes.
we got out of there as quick as we could.
Yes.
Oh dear.
But yes, it was lovely just to wake up and go wandering and see where you ended up.
Yes.
So, and then we got on a train, which I wasn't prepared for. Maybe you were, but I was not prepared for the length of time we were going to be on that train. It was, 6 hours?
5 hours, yeah.
5 hours. And we weren't, we were sitting in rows. We didn't have our own table and seating like we did, Damien. This was a 5-hour trip, I understand.
Yes.
So, and the food was terrible.
Yes.
But we got to Nice.
We did. And you had a little sleep from memory, as you do.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to take pictures of these beautiful little villages thinking, that's where I want to be, that's where I want to be.
That's right, stop the train.
Yes.
Let's get off.
Yes.
So it is interesting, isn't it? I mean, and it's par for the course. You know that once you get there, you'll discover things that you didn't know. And yes, so we got to Nice and the first thing we did was go, right, we're not walking, we're going to catch a cab. And the cab driver said,
No,
you're going to walk because it's only down the road. It's like, but we've got heavy suitcases.
Bad luck. I want to take that person who's going to go a long distance.
So here we go again.
Yes.
We walked our way to the motel.
Yes.
Now, the motel was bigger, but it just didn't have the same charm.
No.
It felt like we could have been in any city.
Yes.
And we were a little bit disappointed.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of people say, I'm sure they say it to you, they say it to me, that those people that travel a lot, that, you just... You can say, I've been to Paris and Berlin and, here and there and all over the place. But really, it's like they've just gone from one hotel room to another hotel room to a meeting, to a conference. And, we've been in many conferences ourselves. We know that you're just stuck in air-conditioned rooms.
Yes.
You may get to spend a night out somewhere, but you really don't get to experience the places. So... We will know. We know. We're ready. We're ready for as soon as they open those gates. We'll be out there.
We know what we want to do.
Yes.
And how we want to do it. But we got out. I mean, we weren't there for the motel room. So
we weren't.
We got out.
Yes.
We wandered around and discovered the trams.
Yes.
Felt
5 tickets instead of 2 tickets.
Felt very Melbourne. Yes. Not the ticket bit, but the tram bit. Yes. Well, that's right, because I couldn't understand what I was doing.
So just keep putting cards, money, pointing, and all of a sudden we have all these tickets.
So Joe does what you do, and just gave a ticket to a lovely lady with her son.
Yes,
and that was just a nice gesture, and off we went.
Yes,
and that's what there's the video that we put up this morning on their Facebook page. That was us talking about giving her the tram ticket. And then later, was it later that day or the next day?
I think it might have been the next. I can't remember.
We were in like the food market area,
which was lovely.
Lovely in Nice. We could have just stayed there. And she come running up to us because we were obviously very recognisable girls about Nice. Yes, with our hats on. And
I think it was the hats.
Yes. And so we felt like we had a friend.
We did.
Yeah.
Well, we did make contact, but we haven't really spoken since then, which is a shame. And then you braved the rocks.
I braved the rocks.
On the beach.
Oh, yes.
Well, maybe they call them pebbles, but they were big, hard, very uncomfortable, ow, rocks.
Again, it's like, where's the sand? We're on the Mediterranean and there's big rocks. And it was very difficult to navigate. And there was a little bit of a dip down into the water. So it was... you could have ended up flat on your bum and very bruised. But I thought I wanted to swim because it was very inviting.
Yes.
Yes. And it was hot.
Yes. Yes. I think I did actually you made me go down and
I
put my
did.
feet in the water.
Well, you had
was,
to.
It was a very painful experience.
It was.
Obviously, people have special shoes, I think.
I think so. You can get those water shoes, but because I stood there and looked at other people for a while just to see what they were doing. It's like I need coaching on how to get into the water.
How I walk from here to there.
That's right.
Oh dear, yes.
Well, maybe they just get. I mean, I think our feet are very sensitive, so they just get desensitized.
Well, it was probably very good for. I mean, if we asked our reflexologists,
yes,
they would say we're probably doing good stuff.
Very good, very good. Yes.
So yes, and yeah, we actually had a lovely time. We ate in a restaurant in the middle of a square.
Yes.
And there was music. Somebody was playing music, and
there was your French music.
There was the French music, and then there was also something else going on, a street performance, or no, it was more singing. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of dining in the alleyways, which is where our video kind of shows one of the alleyways. Yeah.
Oh, and then we met that gentleman from. Where was he from? Yugoslavia or somewhere, and he did paintings of the Little Prince. I have one, a little card that he did, and he was homeless. Remember?
Oh yes, on our walk, our discovery walk. Yes,
And the other thing was the places and the things we discovered, the sustainable things that were going on.
Yes, we were off the beaten track a bit.
Yes,
yeah.
So we did find like these big containers that people would put rubbish in and everything that was then taken somewhere, and so there were a number of really great sustainable things going on.
Jo?
Yes?
Sacre Coeur.
Oh, who told you?
Me.
Oh, you!
My brain.
Oh, thank you.
I knew it had come back.
There you go. Thank heavens for that.
So that was the big famous church on top of Montmartre.
Yes, with the artist and everything.
Yes.
Well done, you. And then we were coming to the end.
We were devising ways of not going home. And one time, because we were crossing a very busy road and you looked the wrong way and stepped out in front of a Porsche. And so I was pretending... Ferrari, sorry.
Yes.
I was thinking of things that I'd need to ring your husband and say, like, Joe's been hit by a Ferrari. And and I need to stay here with her, but don't worry, she'll be okay.
She'll be okay in 3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah. And we've just have to go to Italy because there's a special place where she can be.
Yes,
she can recover.
That's right. It did take all our strength to get on the plane at Nice rather than go to Italy because we realised how close we were, and we actually went to Monaco. Which is Monte Carlo. Yes, we went there and realised how much closer we were, but it was the last day. Yes.
And that was funny too because we didn't have our passports, and it's actually in another country. And we were reading up, and they were telling us about how people, policemen stopped somebody, and they ended up in. Oh, that's where we were talking. I think about being arrested.
Oh yes, a few times. Yes,
a few times.
Talking about it, not being arrested.
Yes.
Oh, we caught a bus one day. That's right. We went to the hotel reception and we said, where can we find all the cultural villagey things, out of the. And so he said, catch this bus, and so we ended up in Ez.
That's right.
And it was lovely, but it was.
Well, at first we're going, what's here?
Yes, there was nothing. We were dropped off and we didn't know. But there was this very old, structure.
Well, it would have been a castle.
Yes.
It was a castle, and but you couldn't see that when we were dropped off, and then we sort of looked around and realised that maybe that was the way we had to go, and because we walked all the other ways and couldn't find anything, nowhere to eat or anything.
No. Fruit shop.
Yes.
Fruit shop.
Yes. Well, that's what we ended up having.
Yeah.
So we found this amazing structure which had hotel rooms, and of course, again, we ended up in the wrong area and got told to leave that area because this is only for people who are staying there. And but that was and the gardens at the top.
Yes, and little nooks where there were like craftspeople and artists.
Yes, I bought some lavender from there. So little lavender bag. And then walking right up to the gardens. And unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the artist who did all the amazing sculptures of different women.
It was from the 12th century, wasn't it? It was very old.
Can't tell you.
Well, and that's the other thing. I got very obsessed with finding very old things.
Yes, you did.
Like, oh, yes.
Which was great.
History.
Yes, history. Yes, yes. And then Monaco, which we were very uninterested in.
Unimpressed.
Really.
Yes. Even though we did go to the casino. Well, we didn't go to the casino.
No.
We're outside the casino.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we wouldn't have been able to get in because we didn't have our passports.
No.
We would have asked for them.
Mm.
But yes, that wasn't really our thing, was it?
No. But it was fun catching a bus there and then a train back. And
It was. And we can say we've done it.
You've been listening to the Two Natural Ladies podcast. Visit twonaturalladies.com.au for more information. Thanks for joining us.